I can see the problems. I don't understand how they can't see the problems or how they have no will to fix the problems. If you wanted to break down the body language here is crazy. Okay, if you really want to do some posture analysis here, nobody wants to see your forced enthusiasm about a dinner party you'll never have with your friends and your wife. What? Wow, guys, don't you wish everyone could just be nicer about their political opinions? Oh, you know, get me out, get me out, get me out. Let's watch the latest episode of Ian and Anisa's podcast. That's iDubbbz and his wife. So that's Ian Joma, also known as iDubbbz, and his wife, Anisa Joma, in their podcast. Obviously, at this point, honestly, this is going to sound crazy, but I was thinking about this earlier as I was considering watching this. This was a podcast called She Ruined My Career, by the way. At this point, I actually kind of prefer Anisa. I gotta be real. It's bleak. It's bleak. iDubbbz is so... Ian Joma is so unlikable to me at this point. I actually kind of prefer Anisa. He's just so mopey, quiet, boring, low energy, dry, lame, everything. That video of him and Max Mofo and Chad that they did recently, trying to recapture it, was terrible. It was horrible. It was awful to see.
It's chili dog time. 3, 2, 1. Tim Robinson. Chili dog time. 3, 2, 1. Angle. They're going. Oh! Alright, get a quick zoom in on my face. Hey everybody. Okay, now you can zoom out. We're playing a game.
Chad's on his phone. I'm just looking up an espresso.
Max and Chad suck now too. I don't know. Look, you know me, okay? I'm a trash taste, or I was at one point. I actually liked when it was trash taste and Max and Chad. That was like funny. I thought that brought out the entertaining parts of all the people involved. I was like, okay, they're being a bit edgier. They're being a bit, you know, crazier with it, nasty with it. I was like, okay, this is good. I like this. But seeing them with Ian now, it's like, dude, this guy is like the caricature of someone on SSRIs. Like, I don't want to say he's on SSRIs. I don't want to say it's because he's on SSRIs. But he is like the caricature of someone on SSRIs. You ever seen... So they're already saying I'm a Goy Slop super soldier. I'm going to go further. You ever seen the TV show Legion? Have we seen this? Have we watched this? The TV show Legion, the X-Men one. Have we seen this? In that show, there's a bit where he's on SSRIs. And that's very Ian to me. That's very Ian. When he's stacking the shelves in the grocery store and he's on SSRIs. We're not going to play the behind blue eyes scene. We'll watch that later, but I'm trying to make this a segment style, okay? We will go over that later. We can watch that later. That is... Yeah. That's Ian. That's very Ian. That gives Ian, as a homosexual male might say. So let's get back to this. I actually do prefer Anisa at this point, because she's actually like... She has funny moments. She freaks out a little bit, has some energy. It's like there's some character there, at least. There's a person there, kind of. Ian is just gone. He's a husk. So let's take a look. Apparently Creator Clash 3 has been announced in this podcast. Let's take a look.
Yeah. Would you ever go to Apple or not?
I actually was kind of thinking about it, but...
Oh, we've got this sped up. Let's calm this down.
I keep hearing complaints that every new iteration of the iPhone for the last, 5 years has just been, nothing. Mm-hmm. Like, nobody cares about any of the incremental changes that they do, so it's just, kind of want to wait until there's maybe a good one, one where everybody's like, wow, this is a big step up.
Yeah.
Maybe then I'll consider it, but I mean, I don't really use my phone that much, so it being an Android or an iPhone really doesn't matter that much to me, so just kind of thinking about just getting an iPhone for the camera. That's pretty
Yeah.
much it.
You should wait until they put quantum computers in the iPhones.
We might be waiting a while.
That
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna. It has to be something like that for me to care
Yeah.
again about like a new launch.
True.
Phone. Like, what could they add to a phone realistically?
Well, I mean, what they're
I don't
doing now
know.
is like fucking AI to everything.
Yeah,
AI
see,
to
I don't care
picture
about that.
processing
Yeah, who
and
gives a
stuff.
fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Dane, you need to get on the just buy like an iPhone 4
Oh,
and use that.
Why?
Because I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like
there's like
nothing's
iPhone
changed since iPhone.
SE or something.
Dude, that is so. It is such. How about that airplane food conversation, isn't it? It's such. Thank you, Blowblacks, for 5 gifted membership. I'm assuming that's actually the Lumpy Willy guy, and not the real Blowblacks. No, it may even be a completely different person. It may even be Max. I don't know. It may be someone completely different because it's now Blowblacks 3. It's now a completely different Blowblacks impersonator. Thank you for the 5 memberships anyway.
Something like that. It's like a smaller one.
Yeah, the
It's really
small
nice.
ones.
Right, but I bet the cameras for those
Oh.
old phones
Yeah.
probably aren't as
Yeah.
good as the ones for my phone.
No,
I think
you're
they
right, I
have
forgot
like
about
a
that.
real nice like in between
Mm.
kind of option now. That's like a little bit. It's not like the Max or whatever. It's
Yeah.
you know a little bit. More,
Like, I get it. I understand wanting to have a podcast where you're like talking about a more broad range of things. It's not necessarily like a specific piece of content. You're talking about like stuff going on kind of in your life, but at least try and center it sometimes around interesting stuff that's happening. This is so fucking lame every time I watch it.
more
Only-
stripped down.
Like, I am actually curious. Maybe you guys can tell me what is the actual advantage between an iPhone and like a Samsung,
Oh, Ian
Like,
can answer this.
besides like the fact that the camera options for iPhones are like well known to be like probably better.
Yeah, I mean
What are the other things?
the ecosystem.
What does that mean?
It means that you know when you interact with people's messages who have iPhones, like everything just works better. I would say
Yeah.
messaging in general, like sending videos,
Oh,
sending
God.
pictures to someone with
Right.
an Android, or Android sending it to someone with a iPhone is horrendous. I can't believe it's this bad.
Yeah, it feels like you're going back to 2008, like
Yeah.
sending video over BlackBerry or something.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I personally
Bro, are they... This is like the average. This is the average SSRI iPhone user. It's just great, bro. Yeah, this is insane. Just total drones. Just like, oh, I like the ecosystem of the iPhone. Well, why do you like the ecosystem of the iPhone? Well, because everything else I've got is already Apple. Because I'm already bought into a bunch of proprietary software, so it all just works better with the other stuff. And everyone around me uses iPhones, so I just feel like I have to use an iPhone because it's easier to work with other iPhones. It's just like the most zanned out LA. T for
just believe that that's Apple's fault and not
I agree.
Android's fault.
No.
So I almost kind of don't want to reward them for that.
yeah.
Well,
So
it's still the
so
case.
one of the
between
reasons why
Android, phones, though.
Another Goislop reference coming in. Dropping another hot Goislop reference, okay? Gives me vibes of that one scene in Mr. Robot where he decides he's going to make his life normal.
I feel like
Huh?
sending things between Androids sucks ass as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I don't think it's
I
that.
don't think that that's true.
No, well, I think it's true. So maybe you want to rock paper scissors?
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Rock paper scissors.
Oh my God, you guys are
Okay.
scissoring.
Okay, let's not
Alright.
do that again. Let's call it a tie.
Okay.
That way we can have like a
Agree. Well, that's the agreed to disagree.
Okay, yeah.
Truce.
No, I guess let me walk my statements back. I don't feel is the operative word that it looks as good, and it doesn't make me feel as good to receive the videos or pictures.
I'm gonna be honest.
This is crazy. Weren't these guys complaining about financial problems like recently? And now they're like, oh yeah, I have to have an iPhone because it makes me feel better when I receive the pictures and videos.
Honest, I just think green text is ugly. The blue is pretty.
Did he actually get lobotomized? It's
Yeah, if only you could
on the
customize it,
table.
huh?
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
I don't. I'm so fucking like boomer. Like, I don't touch anything.
yeah, any of the
ever.
settings. We recently
They should talk about politics. Mocha, have I got some great news for you? I see, if I scroll down here, I'm seeing a few topics. Elon Musk has a Pixar villain mom, Mother Musk / Yippee. Taylor Swift / Trump tweets. Alienating relationships with politics / changing views through influence / political boundaries. So get excited, okay?
on our trip to LA, we discovered that you could. I mean, we didn't discover it; we knew it was there. But
Look
go to mine.
Okay, hold on.
I have
my
the fucking
God.
evil Rottweiler. She
Yeah.
has the evil.
His and
Therapist.
hers
I'm sorry.
phone backgrounds.
Yeah.
Show
Dude, if
bullet again.
Anisa was like a fascist, like an open fascist, she might be our girl, okay? That would be so funny. That would be like the most comedic kill turn, and I would support it fully. That would be so good.
Here's Bullet,
There's bullet,
but with a deadly eye.
and here's ham sandwich.
Oh, for the audio listeners, we're just basically holding up our iPhones that we have changed the background on. I know it's very advanced.
And for the listeners, Anisa's like flipping off the camera for some reason. I'm not really sure why.
Yeah.
Well,
See,
you know,
I just manifested that.
I wish you didn't tell them. Now they know. I wanted it to be a secret flip off.
The secret
To the
flip.
audio
Well,
listeners.
Anisa just did something secretly that you won't know unless you see the video.
Kind of like Dax hiding the finger behind the desk,
Yeah.
like that.
I like secret things.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me a secret,
flip
then.
offs.
yeah.
Secret. I like secret farts.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I,
did
guess
a
those
lot
are
of
most ideal when they're secret.
Wait, were you doing a lot of secret farts lately?
Yeah, on the plane returning
Uh-huh.
to Seattle.
I always this is my problem. I never assume it's my husband.
Mhm.
I think it's somebody else being a nasty pig on the
Yeah.
plane. This happened to us another time. We were in line waiting for to get
Mhm.
through TSA.
Yeah.
And I was like so insulted by who I thought the guy in front of us was just ripping mad ass. And I was getting so mad. I like put my mask on and like looked really disheveled. And like Ian,
I think I just let this play, actually. I don't think I'll comment on this. I think we just let this bit play.
Oh, you thought?
No. I suspected that you thought it was someone else. Otherwise, you would have fucking.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't he have IBS? Why would she not assume it was Ian? What?
And you would have been like, babe,
She's going on streams talking about this guy shitting himself all the time.
don't fart on me.
Yeah, I honestly, I always assume
That's
that it's
nice.
someone else.
That's great.
I don't think it's you, but it's always you.
It's not always me, but most of the time it is. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, that's like, you get free reign, man. On a plane,
That's fucked up.
you just shit your pants on a plane. People don't, I mean, people shit around me all the time, and I'm like, fuck you. And I hit
know.
them back with it.
That's fucked up. So it's a vindictive thing?
No,
Yeah, Deep, I'd say this is giving brat. I'd say this is giving brat, wouldn't you? I'm lagging. I think it's because I just tried to download a file. Or is it just because my internet's being raped? Who knows? No, it's back now. We're good. Giving brap. It's giving brap. Wait, we've got a clip coming in. Bobby clip. Sonic Josh alert. Key Sonic Josh update coming in.
And you're like, oh my god, I have to address this. Oh my god, it's so obvious I'm not a poo-poo face, duh. But no, I have to address this. I have to make a 30-minute address of this crazy claim that I'm a poo-poo face. Like, if it's not that big of a deal, then why did you even cover? He's shooting himself in the foot. I'm just baffled. I'm baffled. Even his own fans are turning on him. That's why I had to make this stream. I'm just so like, what did I miss? How did he mentally degrade that much ever since I made my last video on him? Like, what is going on? I thought he was already at rock bottom. What's going on? Jesus, he needs more antidepressants. Dude, that Ethan's doctor must be working overtime, dude. You need to prescribe him some more shit, because, like, what is going on? And you're like...
Why is every Bobex clip aged so fucking horribly? That's so funny.
Oh, no.
Vindictively, there was a crying baby. Well, okay, first we need to back up. We went to LA. We just came back. We're recording this. If this podcast.
That's the other reason to like Anisa. She hates Bobby. She fucking hates Bobby. And she called him a useless retard who can't look after himself. Which is funny and true. Like, why are we not supporting Anisa again? Sorry, why is Anisa not a queen? Explain this to me, please.
Podcast is low energy. It's because we've spent probably the past like seven hours of our weekend in meetings for Creator Clash in LA. And we're just cooking on like fighters and getting that stuff kind
queen.
of going.
A Nazi queen.
So our brains are a little cooked. But
Lauren Southern's hiding from the internet after the Tenet Media thing, okay? We need someone else.
We flew
Can
home
Anisa step
really
up?
early this morning. At
Can
like
Anisa step up?
7 a.m. We always take the early flights. But yeah, so we were in LA, had a bunch of business meetings, and then you hung out with Alex Ernst, and I hung out with my friend Kaylee.
Mm-hmm.
And we were out way too late for our early flight, and now my brain is like off.
Yeah. But it was a very productive weekend. I'll have y'all know we're excited to start, reaching out to some
Dude, Freddie, I just seen your message in Spice.
these creators and seeing what
Yeah.
we can generate.
The
But
good
we got to
news
keep it on the
is-
low.
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of. We are able to like pick a date. We can't share it with you guys. And we were able to kind of like hone in on creators that we want to start courting.
Courting.
So here we go. Creator Clash is happening. Here we go. Creator Clash 3 on the table. They're putting it together. This is fucking huge, no? Bobby might be able to make some money. Bobby might actually be able to make his mortgage payments for the next year. If he keeps spinning up insane conspiracy theories and napkin math about the event, he might actually be able to pay his mortgage.
The courting relationship of finding fighters.
Yeah.
And this is the most stressful time for me because like I have this fear that everyone's just gonna like suddenly be like, no, sorry.
Well, I'm trying to, remind Anisa, like, that's what we felt like, specifically with the second one. The first one was just, like, a long, confusing process anyway.
Yeah.
But the second time felt the same way, where it's like, oh, it's like, what if people lose steam or they aren't that serious about it kind of thing.
There's just, like, a paranoia with it. So... But yeah, we started courting people today. We went through, it was like a 5-hour draft session where we sat down and like went over all these different creators because the list
of dream
is
matchups.
long. I said this on stream once, so I'll share it here. But we had a
I want what do I want? I want Moist Critical versus Max Carson. It's not an even matchup. I think Max has about a foot on Charlie. I just want to see him get his face battered in by Mr. Gar. I just want to see him beaten and bloody by Mr. Gar. In the ring, obviously. Legally in the ring, regulated. This is my dream boxing matchup. Stylo. Minx versus me at a bar. I just get to watch her drink with cartoon hearts floating above my head. This guy, actually, unironically, laying on his bed right now, typing that on his phone, wiggling his legs around.
a list of like, it was about like 96 creators or almost 100 creators. So it's like narrowing it down and then figuring out who to court.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's big and small, There's a lot
Touching
of
his toes, feeling the wind.
I don't know, personalities,
your
different
fucking
levels
pillow.
of like recognizable and not.
Yeah, and then there's skill level, athleticism.
There's
like,
so much shit.
Am I on there?
You are, Dane. You're number 5, my number 5 pick. I want you to
Sweet.
fight.
Yes, Turkey Tom versus Lyrics. Yes, yes. Ian wants to do documentaries on commentary YouTubers, he was saying, right? He said he wanted to follow around some commentary YouTuber for a documentary. Turkey Tom versus Lyrics. Yes. Yes.
Fight Demolition D.
Yeah.
I'll beat his ass.
I had you against Scott the Waz.
So Scott the Waz.
Yeah.
Wait, Dane, fight Scott the Waz.
Yeah.
If I got in shape, I'd probably look like him.
Really?
So it'd be like a mirror. It would be like a mirror match.
Yeah. You guys could come out in Spider-Man outfits and point at each other. As the
That'd be so
opening.
cool.
That would actually kind of be sick.
That would be so awesome. No, I'm never gonna box ever.
Aw.
Not for you. Not for nobody.
What the crap, Dane?
Yeah, I've
Sorry.
heard that before.
Yeah, we always change their minds. We'll get you in the ring.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Who do you think would get in the ring first, Dane or Ethan Klein?
Ethan, 100%.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
I feel like we could convince you. You don't have children yet.
I think it's not. It's not necessarily. I think the reasons that me and Ethan are saying no to you is are different. I think that
Jake
he
Weddle
uses
versus
his
Sam
family life
Hyde?
is like a
Yes,
pretty big
please.
excuse. But I think you could probably break that down. Like you could be like, oh, it's
Like, what's
it's
this guy?
gonna be like.
This guy saying
the
Ethan's
reasons
using.
that
What's
me
your
and Ethan-
fucking excuse? Ethan saying his family life is an excuse. What's your excuse, eh? What's your fucking excuse?
It's you. You don't have children yet.
I think it's not. It's not
He's a
necessarily.
TF2 player.
I think the reasons that me and Ethan are saying
Wait.
no to you is are different. I think that he uses his family life as like a pretty big excuse. But I think
This
you,
isn't the Uncle Dane guy, is it? That's not the TF2. It's not him, is it? No, it's not. You're lying to me. Why are you saying?
Oh, it just goes up here. Thanks. I hate rocket jumping anyway, so it worked out. Is somebody actually idle? I don't care.
What? That's wild. That's crazy. Bro, it's so insane. This is Uncle Dane, a massive long-time YouTuber. iDubbbz, massive long-time YouTuber. Anisa, very popular Twitch streamer when she did it. And they can't get anywhere with this podcast. Something's not right here. Something's clearly not working. It's so crazy. Are they making decent money off of this? At least? No, okay, that's just so insane to me.
you could probably break that down. Like you could be like, oh, it's gonna be like less than a year of your life in the grand scheme of things, and it will be like something that you'll remember forever or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, a forever memory. We need to start
Yeah.
saying that to people.
Yeah, that's really like that's something.
Yeah.
Like thinking about in those terms, like like
No, obviously,
you-
Ian is a Husker going, what is the problem here? No, obviously, I can see the problems. It's so fucking low energy and like meandering and pointless. They spent the first 6 minutes talking about how it feels better to send videos on the iPhone, and that's why you should buy an iPhone. I can see the problems. I don't understand how they can't see the problems or how they have no will to fix the problems. When it seems like the potential popularity of the podcast is so far in excess of the current popularity of the podcast.
what are some big events in your life? Like this is going to be one of those.
It's like
you
a
know?
second wedding.
It's a second wedding. It's a third baby.
Honestly, I feel like that was more of our wedding than our like actual
Yeah,
wedding. Well,
totally.
like our celebration of the
Mhm.
wedding, which is kind of cool.
It's very memorable.
When we break down the body language here, dude, if you wanted to break down the body language here is crazy. Okay, if you really want to do some posture analysis here, yeah, like, dude, if we want to do body language analysis here, okay, look, Anisa is laid back, arm on the back of the chair, open posture, you know, like confident, assertive. One leg over the knee, just chilling, okay? Then you look over here at Ian. What we got here is he's hiding his crotch, okay? This is immediately cross-legged. This is an effeminate seating position. Widely considered effeminate, much more assertive and masculine to go for the leg over the thigh here, over the knee. But he hasn't done that. He has not done that. He has gone full twisting the legs around each other. Cock shame, for real, cock shame. He's, you know, he's got his arms are close to his body. He's tight. He's very tight, guarding himself at every angle, fully guarded, reclused, like a turtle, like a tortoise, retreating into its shell. He actually does look like the guy from Master of Disguise. You know, we're not turtly enough for the turtle club. That, you know, the guy does look like that, doesn't he? Yeah, classic bit of trivia. You know, 9/11 happened when that was filmed. I think everyone knows that. I think everyone knows that at this point. But yeah, the body language here is crazy. You can tell this is why he's the Joma. This is why he's Ian Joma now. It all makes sense.
Like our celebration of the wedding, which is kind of cool.
It's very memorable. And yeah, that's a great point, Dane. It is a year, basically.
Yeah.
You know,
a little bit under
a year of your life.
A little less.
And, you know, you check that off. That could arguably be one of the most productive years of your life because you're doing something like that you've never done before.
Yeah, he took a last name.
You've never performed before. Putting your skills to the test.
Yep.
Man. Okay. I got to write this down.
Write it down. Ian loves writing down inspirational quotes in his phone.
Beep up.
Yeah, sometimes I'll stop when Anisa says something that's very, what do you call it when something's inspirational and gobsmacky?
When I become Travis Martin. What's that guy's name?
Godsmack.
Who's the inspirational speaker you used to listen to all the time?
Eric Thomas?
Eric Thomas.
Yeah, when she says some Eric Thomas type shit, I'm like, say that again, but say it slower so I can type it out.
When I say, he took me out to the water and he held me underneath and he wouldn't let me up. And he said, well, you want to succeed as hard as you wanted to breathe? That's when you'll become successful.
Man, you know that better than me now.
Because
I've forgotten it.
I actually, there's some things in our relationship that we like oddly.
I want to watch Talk to Her. Okay, I do want to cover Talk to Her.
Had in common that felt very niche.
Yeah.
And that was one of them where I had this song. It wasn't really a song, but when I have sports-induced asthma. So when I started doing running, it was really, really, really hard for me. Like, I was wheezing within 30 seconds. So there was this inspirational song that I found it was a site called 8 Tracks, but it was just basically a backtrack to that guy's speech.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that that's where that came from. So when you showed me that guy that you listened to, I was like, I know this speech. I listened to it all the time. And that's the part that really always got me was
so funny.
Taking him out to the water and holding him under the water.
His details of it are so funny because it's pulled directly from him, this motivational speaker, Eric Thomas. He's like speaking to a bunch of like high schoolers. And when you watch the video, it's because
you can actually post like links.
It's interesting how well it comes across as like audio because when you look at the video, you're like, oh, this is just kind of like a haphazard recording. It isn't quite as professional as I'm sure a lot of his other speaking engagements. But he's in this classroom and he goes over to this kid and he's like this kid with like an afro and he awkwardly like holds on the kid's head and like holds him underwater to like, I don't know, pantomime this scenario.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very funny.
It reminded me a lot of my dad. Like my dad would come up with stories like
Yeah, they have a producer. Their producer is Uncle Dane, the TF2 YouTuber.
Like that.
Yeah.
I think that's also why I found it kind of comforting.
Oh yeah,
But like
it's good. It's so sports adjacent.
It is.
That kind of like you need that.
yeah.
Sometimes that level of like
Yeah.
passion and motivational speak.
Yeah, because my dad was the king of speeches, like mid game, you know, like in the dressing room, like those like sport movie moments.
Yeah.
My dad was, you know, he's a lawyer, so he's got the gift of gab.
Mm.
So I think I found comfort
Ayo.
in that as well. But like I remember that when I'm having like a really hard week, I know it sounds like people have their opinions about
Jewish?
motivational speakers, but even when Creator Clash was like really rough for us, like I would play
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I think motivational speakers can be awesome. I think
Yeah.
it's tough, right? Because it's like people already have like with things like life coaches and other things that feel adjacent to something that's very like clearly healthy.
This is really difficult to get
therapist,
through.
Yeah.
psychologist, someone doing who went to school for it or whatever. They don't really have like a path for motivational speakers. It's just like
No.
it's a grind. It's a hustle thing.
It's either a hustle thing or you've lived like a very crazy life where it's just like the universe kind
Yeah.
of puts you in that spot. It's just the reason why I get kind of nervous about it is because the line between like inspirational speaker and cult leader.
Yeah.
is very
Oh,
thin.
yeah. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and it's hard to use your powers for good
Yeah.
as well.
it's
It's
very
like,
easy to kind of fall into, and so you can kind of fall into a bit of madness, a bit of Jordan Petersonism.
yeah, that's true.
So-
That's actually a great point because
Yeah.
he toes that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even feel like Milo Yiannopoulos at one point was more motivational speaker
Oh,
than
cool.
he was
We're getting
grifter.
awesome. We're getting great conversation about Jordan Peterson and Milo Yiannopoulos. Or this is just what I wanted to hear about from Ian and Anisa. Let's fucking go. Okay, I'm in board.
Jordan Petersonism.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
That's actually a great point because
Yeah.
he toes that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even feel like Milo Yiannopoulos at one point
It's an hour and 45 minutes. We're
was
15 minutes in.
more motivational speaker than he was grifter.
Yeah.
And then he like
Interesting.
started to
I can
riff.
see that. Yeah, it's just all like
think-
how you use your words.
Yeah.
And also, one person's motivational speaker is another person's grifter.
That's true.
You know, like I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Wow, very brave.
man, that's interesting. I
So
had a
interesting.
thought about
I'm so
um,
interested right now.
specifically that group of is like I think Jordan Peterson, like he has a Patreon.
Yeah.
And he has like he's able to like put some things behind it, like fucking a couple pieces of paper that ask you how you're feeling and stuff like that. So, and he's a former professor. I don't think he's teaching anymore.
I think they
They both seem bored. They seem more bored than I am. Like what is this meandering fucking nothing? He's got a Patreon that he can put some stuff behind. Like, yeah, no shit. That's kind of the point of a Patreon is to have paywall content, no? For most people, anyway. They're just not saying. They're not actually giving any real in-depth thoughts on the topic. Yeah, they're running out of shit to talk about. This is the 49th episode of this podcast. But it's just so like boring, meandering. They're not rediscussing anything. They're just lightly touching on topics.
Like, I don't think.
yeah.
Yeah, I man, that's interesting. I
Like they haven't said it. Like this whole section here, they don't say anything for like 20 seconds. They just use filler words and ah.
More motivational speaker than he was grifter.
yeah,
And then he like
interesting.
started to
I can
riff.
see that. Yeah, it's just all like
think-
how you use your words.
Yeah.
And also, one person's motivational speaker is another person's grifter.
That's
He
true.
thought that
You know,
thought that
like-
went so hard. Did you see him then? He thought that went so hard.
Started to
I can
riff.
see that. Yeah, it's just all like
think-
how you use your words.
Yeah.
And also, one person's motivational speaker
Look at
is
him.
another person's grifter.
That's true.
He thought that went so hard. He was like, I am fucking spitting here. Holy shit, I'm fucking spitting. Just fire. I need to get this out now. Look at it. Look at the face. Look how proud he is.
You know, like, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's interesting. I had a thought about specifically that group of it was like I think Jordan Peterson, like he has a Patreon.
Yeah.
And he has
No, they use grifter to mean, I think, a person I disagree with. That's why he's saying one man's grifter is another man's motivational speaker. So someone could be a grifter and a motivational speaker. Someone could even be a really good motivational speaker, but they could be a total grifter because they're lying about their past or whatever. Like, it's not... I feel like saying it's not perspective dependent. Whether someone's a grifter isn't really a subjective thing. What you're saying there is that they are like lying, being dishonest in what they say. It's not really a matter of perspective, other than the fact that some people just don't have the information, I guess.
he's able to like put some things behind it, like fucking a couple pieces of paper that ask you how you're feeling and stuff like that. So, and he's a former professor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's teaching anymore.
I think they threatened to take his license away.
Yeah.
I actually think his license may have been taken away, actually. Wait, Dane, can you...
I think he's in the...
Can you look up if Jordan Peterson got his license taken away?
Yeah, because he was like a clinical psychologist or something.
Yeah, and
before.
I remember there being some drama, some controversy about that.
Yeah, as far as I recall, they had threatened it, and now I think he's in the process of like, well, they want me to essentially get re-educated by a one of their like social media people, like a person who's going to teach him how to behave ethically or responsibly on social media, and he's kind of like throwing a little bit of a hissy fit over that premise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
I don't think he's been like removed. Yeah. But could be wrong. We'll let Dane take the wheel on that.
It's worded very strangely.
Oh, how's it worded?
It says, I'll just say it. Maybe it'll come to light as I read it. Ontario's highest court has rejected an attempt by controversial psychologist Jordan Peterson to challenge a regulatory body's order that he undergo social...
Dude, I've got to pull the clip up.
I think some childhood injuries that...
Don't mention the chat.
Although the final thing that caused some back and shoulder injuries was me foolishly fighting the world champion sumo wrestler and charging him at him at full speed to knock him over, which I did succeed in doing, but
you paid a price for it.
A very, very high price.
Carnivore diet will fix that.
The what? Sorry.
The carnivore diet will fix that.
Look, I like meat. I'm pro meat. I don't think a carnivore diet is going to fix this particular issue. I think
my wife had an injury of 40 years, and it resolved in 2 years on a carnivore diet.
If you just eat steak or something?
Yeah.
I mean,
all beef.
Sure. I'm a pro. I like meat, but I think this is I think I'll probably need an operation or something. But anyway.
I'd try the carnivore diet first.
Sure.
Anyways, that did happen to her.
Okay.
She couldn't lift her left arm above here. It took 40 years, and in 2 years it resolved.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was something to see. It also rejuvenated her physically in a variety of different ways that were quite miraculous to watch.
Yeah.
And that hasn't stopped. So that's a weird thing, and I would have never believed it if I hadn't seen this because it's so preposterous.
Sure.
Anyways, I'm not going to proselytize about the carnivore diets.
Yeah.
It's so fucking crazy.
Media training or potentially lose his license to practice.
Oh, so
what you were saying was basically correct, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Where they're just basically saying, like, if you don't undergo this social media training, but that was back in January of this year, so I don't know.
They must be in court still. Because like you can appeal that shit and like it can take forever.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, it sounds like basically he tried to say, like, you're not allowed to say that I have to do this in order to keep my license. And the court said, no, they can.
They can,
make you do
absolutely.
that. So I don't know. Maybe he's just like in a he has like a deadline that he's supposed to take that class or lose his license.
Well, I think the last I saw of that specifically was a video of him essentially saying, like, I think he was talking to someone else about it, like his daughter or someone. And he was like, yeah, like, I don't know what they're going to do. Like, are they going to call me up or send someone? Like, I guess we'll, you know, cross that bridge when we get to it kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it sounded like it was very like he didn't even know what it necessarily meant, like if he was going to be told to go to a specific place, or if someone's going to call him on Zoom and be like, all right, here's the deal, man. Don't tweet out weird shit.
Yeah.
Case closed.
I'm very curious because I know like lawyers can be like disbarred very easily.
Right, for doing.
Like you can lose your meta. You know what I find really fascinating is.
Oh no, I've just seen something on Twitter. Screenshot from out at the internet. Stop hating Tommy C pills. Dude.
Like, so if you're a doctor, you can lose your medical license. If you're a psychologist or psychiatrist, you can lose your license. If you're a lawyer, you can get disbarred. But if you're a cop, you can't lose your cop license. But I feel like you can do just as much damage as a cop as you can like with medical malpractice.
100%. Yeah.
So like I kind of find that interesting that they don't. I think even nurses have more.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense though, right? Like we want to give them, you know, we give them way too much general immunity so that people still want to be cops.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
We want people to be.
Wow, yeah, man. Don't you hate cops? Don't cops suck?
Be cops bad.
Yeah.
Just make cop licenses, man. Yeah, man.
That's true.
Yeah, that's like the perk of the job is less accountability than the average person, even if you go through schooling.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure the military has more standards than cops. Like I'm pretty sure there's been people, it's not very common, but you can, for adultery, get kicked out of the army. I'm pretty sure. Apparently they don't actually kick people out of the army for that typically, but it is a charge that's added on when someone is removed for misconduct in the military, which is kind of an interesting thing.
I forgot to change the lights underneath our seats. It's very important.
But yeah, I don't think Jordan Peterson is a teacher anymore. U of T is like a very.
Bro makes so much fucking money. Who even cares?
Yeah, no, that's true.
Like, yeah, I don't know. That's the path he took. He wants to believe that he's teaching people. Online. Well, I shouldn't say he wants to believe. He's teaching people his shit on.
Yeah, he's teaching people his shit. All right, where's that again? Where's his shit again?
I think some childhood injuries that. Look, I'm awful. I like.
Diet will fix. But you paid a price for it.
A very, very high price.
Carnivore diet will fix that.
It's what he's teaching, guys.
Carnivore diet will fix that.
Look, I'm awful. I like meat. I'm pro meat. I don't think a carnivore diet is going to fix this particular issue. I think.
My wife had an injury of 40 years, and it resolved in 2 years on a carnivore diet.
If you just eat steak or something?
Yeah.
I mean,
all beef.
Elon is so uncomfortable. It's so funny.
Sure. I'm a pro. I like meat.
I like meat. You know, I don't like everything being meat. But I like meat.
But I think this is I think I'll probably need an operation or something. But anyway.
I'll probably need surgery. It's probably a surgery issue. I don't think eating meat will fix it.
I'd try the carnivore diet first.
Sure.
Anyways.
No, Elon. No. You think you're getting away with that, Elon? No.
I like meat. But I think this is I think I'll probably need an operation or something. But anyway.
I'd try the carnivore diet first.
Sure.
Anyways, that did happen to her.
Okay.
She couldn't lift her left arm above here. It took 40 years, and in 2 years it resolved.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was something to see. It also rejuvenated her physically in a variety of different ways that were quite miraculous to watch.
Yeah.
And that hasn't stopped. So that's a weird thing, and I would have never believed it if I hadn't seen this because it's so preposterous.
Sure.
Anyways, I'm not going to proselytize about the carnivore diets.
Yeah.
Dude.
Online.
Yeah.
Through Patreon and other platforms.
Man,
I think it's pretty clear, like, how he views himself and his impact, just based on the fact that he was selling like a bust of his head. alongside like Aristotle and stuff like that.
Wait.
No.
Dane, where did you see that?
Was that on Kickstarter?
I don't
Should I
know
do a
where
Kickstarter crap of that?
I remember like a while back he was like, you can get a bust of my head, kind of like one of those like Greek philosopher busts.
Oh
my
shit!
God.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson art sculpture bust.
That's
Bro, there are people that own this. Bro, this is in someone's house. Dude. People have this, like, in their house.
insane.
And immediately I was just like, okay, I think I get
Wait a minute, though.
what he thinks of himself and what he thinks he's doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, me, I own it in my house. It would actually be really fun. It would be... It goes hard as, like, an ironic thing, you know? It kind of does. But just the idea, the picture of the sort of guy who has that totally unironically, like, altered to Jordan Peterson in their home. Robert has 12 rules for life and maps of meaning next to it.
He thinks he's the next Aristotle or some
Man.
shit.
Yeah, the philosophical martyr.
This is tough because there's so many just randos on Etsy that are just selling Jordan Peterson busts on their own.
Like 3D printed or
3D printed. I think they may have done it out of plaster or something. Oh, okay. It looks like on the H3 podcast highlights, this is Jordan Peterson is selling a statue of himself. So, yeah. Well, it happened, and we're about 3 years too late on that one.
That's I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah, but
Well, we were in hell 3 years ago.
I'm also broke the news that fucking Trump is selling sneakers of
Excuse
himself.
me?
Yeah.
What?
If it was limited time, I mean that's probably why the Etsy ones are up, because people
Yeah.
are taking advantage of like it being limited, and they're like, oh, if you guys wanted to get one, you could probably get one on Etsy.
We should get one and then paint it. Like
It
do
would be
our
good
own art
in the
project.
podcast. Yeah.
Oh, we should have a competition.
Oh, a Peterson painting night.
Off. Yeah, a Peterson painting night.
And we invite Dane,
Oh.
and we have Merlin.
Oh,
and we have...
Dude, nobody wants to see this. Nobody wants to see your forced enthusiasm about a dinner party you'll never have with your friends and your wife. Nobody wants this. This is not...
we should get one and then paint it. Like
It
do
would be
our
good
own
in
art
the
project.
Shut this
podcast,
down.
yeah.
Oh,
Shut
we
this
should have
down.
a competition.
Oh, a Peterson painting
Paint
night.
off. Yeah, a Peterson painting night.
And we invite Dane,
Oh.
and we have Merlin,
Oh,
and we all paint our own freaking Peterson bust.
oh, we can all.
I wanna
paint
paint
our
my
little
Peterson.
Peters.
I would paint my Peter as like a Joker style.
Oh, that's actually so smart. Oh, I'm jealous.
What
now.
colors are the trans flag?
Oh, pink, blue, and white. Pink, blue, and white.
Nice.
That's what my colors are gonna be.
Oh, and then you make him woman.
Oh, I'm going to make female Turson.
Shout out to the guy belly laughing at this podcast. Yeah, what a bleak existence. Holy fuck.
Fempete.
Fem
Fempete.
Peterson. Fempete.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love a good Fempete.
that would be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get off Etsy.
Cool.
We'll have a paint night.
No, we don't even get off Etsy. I could fucking print that shit here.
But you can't paint. We need the clay, like one that's like plaster.
I'll cover it in plaster.
Okay.
Yeah. Easy. I'm sort of becoming that handy guy around the house that's not actually handy. That over like I know it's possible for me to do a thing like at a like poorly, I guess. But then I won't ever actually even do it.
You kind of you're like that guy from that
like
Tim Allen.
Yeah, TV trope.
Where he's like, it's just the top of his head.
Is that the guy?
The fence is like covering. Yeah.
Is that what he did?
I don't know. I have an association.
Imagine. Yeah, I have that association as well.
Unless maybe he just like gave advice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's
I
like
can't remember.
He's kind of a wise guy type character.
I think maybe he was just
kind
a
of like a
wise
nosy
guy.
neighbor type character.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
They're like, hey, what are you doing? And
Do we
they're
ever
like,
find out that guy's fucking identity? Is he?
No.
secret?
maybe in like the finale of the show, like that was the last shot was his face, kind of like Kenny from South Park.
Yeah, I like that.
Took his hood off.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was shocked the world.
Kenny took his head off,
Really?
or not his head, his hat. Well, his
Kenny
head
ripped his
did
own
come
head off. Yeah, his head's come off many times.
Yeah, his head's come off many times. But yeah, Kenny took his hood off before he went into the interdimensional.
Cool.
Yeah.
He always just went to heaven.
Or heaven. That's yeah.
I was gonna say, speaking of head off, apply directly to the forehead.
Well, you're gonna invite Dane to a head off?
Yeah. What the hell? What is a head off?
I'll kick your head.
Okay, we're gonna start skipping through. Okay, let's watch the Elon Musk section. Let's see this one.
Elon.
Can somebody tell me if that picture of him? I know there's one picture of him shirtless and really
At the
pasty
beach?
at the beach that like is confirmed, like not altered, like that's just how he looks. But the one where he's even more bloated and he's got like the blood on the bottom of his belly or scarring or whatever that is, and
He's
like
got like
his
an open
mouth's
flesh wound or
open.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, and his mouth's going like. "Ooh." That one, can somebody tell me if that's altered or real? Because I can't.
I think I know what that is. I think I know what you're talking about. My first instinct when I saw that, and I didn't like bother to look into it. It looked kind of AI-ish to me.
Yeah, it looked.
Oh my!
But
It's a little bit tough.
but I didn't really look into
When
it.
I searched up Elon at the beach,
Yeah,
obviously there's a lot of results, but the one you're talking about, this one,
that's the one. Is that him?
It's on r/Photoshop battles. I don't. Oh, and it says already shopped. Okay, that makes
Fuck.
sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that one is edited.
It's nice though because it's like it feels subtly edited.
Yeah.
Like it has like a
Right.
little disgusting like pinkish smear.
Yeah.
Near
This is bleak. This is fucking bleak.
The ickest ick that ever icked.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm gonna fucking kill it. Oh, that's a crazy phrase.
Thing he's done.
I agree. I don't. Why is that?
Wait, is that an ick?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
for
it's a huge ick. yeah.
massive ick. Like that's like
Yeah.
the ickest ick that ever icked.
Yeah, it really
How did it get worse with the context?
is. So I guess a couple things. One, there's this like unathletic like way that he's doing it where it's like,
That's
oh, you're
true.
kind of chubby and like awkward.
It looks like you're really struggling to get off the ground.
Yes.
But it's also toddler-esque.
It's
like
toddler-esque, like he's got a full diaper.
yeah, and the way he like cranks his head and has his mouth open and like kind of shuts his eyes.
Right.
It's like
He's also
hitting all
doing
the
it
notes.
because other people are telling him to.
oh, is he?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think when you watch the video, someone says like, "Yeah, do the jump again, Elon. Do the jump again," and he does, and he's like, "Ee," all like coy. So I think that's another reason why it feels like a little toddler performing.
Yeah,
for
like a little
people.
toddler that you're like, oh, do the dance for your uncle.
Yeah, freaky.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Did you see his like mom?
Bobby just tweeted an Amazon book about BPD. What is this? It must be on his private. I don't have that.
tweeted out like just a picture of like a unhoused man just like like blanketed up, just lying, minding his own business, lying on the streets, just trying to sleep. And she's like, "It never used to be like this. What happened?"
I love how she looks. She looks like a Pixar villain.
She looks like
Really?
Futurama.
I haven't even seen this woman.
You know
you're gonna
Futurama?
say, Dane, you were cooking with that take when you see this woman.
Okay.
She looks
looks
like
like
cartoonishly evil.
Oh
It's
the
very
mother.
funny.
God!
the mother from Futurama.
You're
Yeah,
right.
the mother from Futurama.
Mom. Oh my God,
And
that's identical.
I don't know. She has two sons. If she has three, I think there might be a third Musk.
Dude,
and if
life
there is, that'd be
imitates
crazy.
art.
Yeah,
What
show
the
show
fuck?
the picture of her.
I mean, I will. I'll
right.
just put it up in
Right.
post.
Yeah.
Jesus, dude.
She literally reminds me of.
Yeah.
Mom.
At first, I was okay. Dane was cooking without a doubt.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a more apt comparison, and all I could generate was Cruella de Vil.
Oh yeah,
But
Cruella.
then I was like, that isn't even as accurate.
walks away from the wall of dirt, and right behind it is a bunch of
on the other
diamonds.
side. Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's so
feel like
stupid.
a
It's
lot
like
of therapy.
The worst meme.
That's what it is,
Yeah,
though. Where
it
it's
is.
like you leave before you hit the
Yeah.
jackpot, and it's not gonna feel good the first like. I mean, it
Right,
will
it'll feel
good
so
sometimes.
shitty knowing how much effort you put in, and
Yeah.
you're like, well, there's nothing here.
No, gambling is funny. Where's the gambling is funny?
People say, Steve, you are addicted to free money. I'm crying because casinos are so kind to people. They let everyone win a lot of money and they lose so much by allowing it. Casinos are charities and people don't realize this. I've heard people say there's only 24 hours in a day. You spend 8 hours sleeping and 8 hours working. Then you spend 2 more hours on showering, eating, and household chores. And then you are left with only 6 hours. You are wasting too much time. You should be gambling 24 hours a day. That's the only meaningful way to live your life. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm at the place where your dreams can finally come true. This is where your financial freedom begins. Trust me, casino will save your life. Yes, I get it. There are thousands of poor children living in Africa. They don't even have basic things like clean water or shoes. But why don't we build a couple of 100 casinos around Africa? Those poor children could earn millions and buy everything they want. Let me tell you the ABC of life. A stands for arcade machines, B stands for blackjack, and C stands for casino. Gambling is fundamental in life. Are you feeling down? Feeling like you can't do anything right? How about going to the nearest casino and gambling all your life savings? It's definitely going to make your day better when you triple your balance. A lot of people ask me how to stop being addicted to gambling. I never understood, why do you want to quit? 99% of gamblers stop right before winning a gazillion dollars. It's all about the mindset. Never stop gambling. Oh, I can't afford a Ferrari, it's too expensive. Really? Your kidneys cost up to $300,000 each, and you have 2 of those. Do you really need both? Then you'll be driving a Toyota till the last day of your life. It's all about the mindset. Oh no, I lost all my money while I was gambling. Now I'm in huge debt. Yeah, that's what losers tell me all the time. Well, guess what? Now you have motivation to gamble even more to win all the money back and then make even more profits.
So true, so real. Great advice, great advice.
Yeah.
Traveling endlessly down the mine shaft.
Yeah, but you're traveling to a good place.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah, and what you discover about yourself is going to be, different. That's why it's so hard to sell therapy. It's not like you can tell people, like, guys, if you keep going, you'll find freaking diamonds.
Become a billionaire.
It's like, no, maybe along the way you find some coal.
Yeah.
Maybe you find some lapis lazuli.
Maybe you shit yourself and you don't have another pair of pants.
Maybe there's a fucking creeper there, and you're like, fuck, that scared me. I don't want to see the creeper again.
Yeah.
So you
Maybe
don't
Enderman
go back to
comes.
I like how there was like a moment, Anisa, where you dropped the Minecraft analogy. You just said something about shitting pants. Like, that doesn't happen in the game at all.
What? You can't shit your pants in Minecraft?
Let me.
Swift, the Taylor Swift tweet.
Oh my god.
Oh, right,
the only thing worse than the Taylor Swift tweet. Wait, I mean, it wasn't worse, but what made it worse, just the situation, was fucking Travis Kelce responding.
No. Okay, wait. Because some people might not know.
Okay.
Some people might not know.
Let's run through this shit.
Taylor Swift came out in support of Kamala Harris by saying she's like a single cat lady or whatever. And then Elon tweeted.
And I quote.
Yeah, quote the tweet. Because Elon tweeted this as a response to Taylor coming out for supporting Kamala.
He said, "Fine, Taylor, you win. I will give you a child and guard your cats with my life."
Why?
Bruh.
Oh my.
Bruh.
Okay, so I didn't know that
this
Travis
is awesome.
Kelce responded.
Yes.
They should have sicked that fucked up kicker, the weird misogynistic kicker after Elon. What's his name?
Oh shit.
Misogyny McGee.
I almost spread misinformation. Apparently, it was a fake screenshot.
Oh.
Everything's saying that it's false, which is good.
Okay.
Now I'm going to inform everyone who is also misled like myself.
But we can think about all the things that he would say. I'm going to propose that he say, "Dear Mr. Musk, we, on behalf of Taylor, we deny your offer of your seed."
Of the rearing of your seed.
is not something that we desire.
We will, however, take you up on your offer of guarding the cats with your life.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, you have any guesses, Anisa?
Of what Travis?
Of what the fake Travis said? Of what some Malaysian guy?
Wow, this is awesome,
with a
guys. This
hat
is
on
awesome.
said.
Okay, look.
Try to put your pet.
Let's skip to this
A foot in
section.
each.
Let's try this one.
It is kind of sad that it's like that, though, because it's like the reason why people feel that way, or at least like the reason why more people these days might feel that way, is because things are so contentious.
Mhm.
And there are people who stop talking to their family because of who they support. I mean, that's kind of messed up, in my opinion.
You think so?
Like, yeah, because like just because of like who they want to vote for doesn't really
I think
say a whole lot about like
in the world
them as a
that-
person as far as like your relationship with them. You know what I mean?
I feel like in the world that we live in, it's not. It's if it was in a vacuum, like just who you vote for, and that wasn't represented in your personality or your day-to-day talk, like I would agree. But there's a lot of people where the paranoia and the like obsessiveness with talking about it has overtaken their life so much that it's not like it really has changed them as a person.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think that that's probably just a me thing, though. I think I have that naivety about myself where I just would like it if people could get along.
Yeah.
Despite having differing opinions on politics.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that that's becoming harder and harder because it's like a conversation that's happening like more and more. It's so much more accessible to practice those kinds of things as well.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's just the world we live in. I wish that people could be a little bit more, I don't know, friendly about it. But I don't know. That's just my little world. I
agree.
You know, I wish
think
for
it's
world
possible.
peace kind of opinion. You know, it's just like what?
Wow, guys, don't you wish everyone could just be nicer about their political opinions? Oh, you know, get me out, get me out, get me out.
It's kind of stupid.
I think it would help. I think if we had more tools, because I do think we.
Dude, Forever's Wild Ninja. Tell that to Israel. Israel. I can't even get their name right.
I do think that's possible, but I think what Anisa is like hinting at is that like if there's an issue that's particularly important to you, like that is almost a deal breaker because you're essentially being betrayed in a big way.
It's a big betrayal.
Like if you are like really, you know, pro-abortion and you really like, you know, value your autonomy and your ability to fucking look after your own body.
Yeah.
And your parents or relatives are like staunchly against that specific
Yeah,
thing,
women's health care.
that is like that goes beyond even the candidate or anything. It's just like we have like
you just don't think women should.
yeah, and your vote is making an impact on my life, and you deciding that for me is like a big deal, and vice versa. You know, it doesn't have to be that issue specifically.
Yeah, like
but the other issues, like if you talked about like financial policies or some of these things that are just, you know, pegs on the, I forget what it's called, like political, I don't know, board. Like there might be a lot of overlap and a lot of reasonableness. But if you can identify that one thing where you're like, hey, like this it feels like you're.
Yeah, I watched that. I saw Trump saying that Kamala wants babies aborted after they're born, wants them aborted up to 9 months and after birth. What was it? He was saying about there's stories of doctors putting the baby to one side and then saying they'll decide what to do with it later or some shit.
Fucking with me.
Yeah.
And you focus on that rather than like the idea that they're voting for a specific candidate.
But even if they're ignoring all of that, because like I'm kind of on the opposite side of Dane, where like I, especially in the world that like the type of politics that we're in right now and how much it affects people directly, I cannot tolerate befriending people that don't have care to like protect what is getting taken. Like
if they have.
It actually reminds me of that. Everyone, look, I'm gonna piss off a bunch of people. It reminds me of the Maddox Regressive Party. You know this?
What does it take to be a great leader? Vision? No. Don't be stupid. Kindness is for children. I, Maddox, am proud to announce my candidacy for U.S. President with the Regressive Party. For decades, people have argued for life or for choice. My stance is simpler. I'm against abortion, but for killing babies. Under my administration, I would raise the legal age of abortion to 80 years old. That's 323 trimesters from the date of inception. That means every man, woman, child, and non-binary gendered person from the ages of 0 to 80 can now be aborted. Kids can finally abort their own parents. They can abort each other. Full family abortion. Black lives matter. All lives matter. In my America, no lives matter unless you display a token of worth. These tokens can be obtained by attending one of my re-education camps.
What happened to Maddox versus Dick? They both fucked each other over in different ways, and everyone pretends that Dick was totally in the right about every single thing. And Maddox did everything wrong all the time, every single time.
Camps, or by completing a series of obstacle courses designed specifically for U.S. citizens. Upon completion, you'll receive one token that you can then exchange for reduced police brutality. But I'm an American. No, you're not. Where's your token? Civil disobedience is still disobedience. And on that note, there will be no more police in my America. Officers will be replaced with drone strikes. So don't speed. And mobile shock troops. Jaywalking.
Stream's over. Pull up the children's drawing reviews. No, I'd pull up the Penn and Teller drama before anything, Dave, okay?
Domestic dispute. Copyright infringement. These soldiers will be highly trained in close quarters combats and artillery. You can recognize them because their uniforms will consist of a reptile mask, plus tastefully adorned spikes on their shoulders and forearms. Tourists will cower in fear at the sight of these enforcement officers. Fucking tourists. They think they're so high and mighty, they think you just come in America and spend their money. Take pictures. I hate horses. Less horses, more glue. People at political rallies today are required to protest in free speech zones. This upsets a lot of people, so I will make available premium speech zones. And for an added fee, premium speech plus. Everyone can be heard, commensurate to their income level. I want to punch a horse.
Okay, we got the point. Thanks, Maddox.
Have the ability to communicate, though.
That was epic in
No.
1016, trust me.
It really does.
Not for me. Like if somebody thinks that they're like protecting their they want to pay less taxes and that's worth
nobody cares.
throwing
Do not
women
tell
under
me
the
other
bus
streamers
to the
going
point where
live.
if you're having a
Go watch
miscarriage, you
Nick.
can't get
Right.
an abortion. Like I think you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like objectively. So I can't really
You
befriend.
think I don't have Twitter? You think I don't see Diorio say I'm going live in an hour? You think I haven't seen that? You think I don't know that's happening? You think I'm insane? Do you think I'm blind? You don't tell me that another streamer is going, I do not care.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard.
So,
Yeah.
like, because that's a big one is the women's health care. But then there's also other things. It's like, you know, my dad's side of the family's from the Middle East. You know,
There's a lot of carelessness
I'm a
with
big
that
trans
kind of stuff.
advocate. I like, there's just like, for me, and I think that people that are, I think if you're a person who can float in the middle and you're not, it's not directly hurting you as much.
Yeah.
It's easier to say, but for
Yo,
me,
2 Mads going live. Yo, let's fucking go. Yo, 2 Mads loading up Overwatch. 2 Mads streaming Overwatch. Let's fucking go.
me and
Yeah.
people even more on farther is
Okay.
me.
No, I'm totally.
been
I'm
waiting for
with
so
your line
long.
of thinking. I understand what you're saying. You
Yeah.
don't have that luxury because you're going to be
Can't tolerate.
blindsided by some absolute like painful shit.
Of like, you don't see me as a human being.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And-
And if you let your fucking guard down
Yeah.
and you decide like, no, I want to like, you know, it's like you got to protect yourself.
Yeah, you have to.
You know.
And I don't. But to clarify, like, I don't have a problem with people with your attitude, Dane. Like, I get it, and I think that there needs to be people like you because that's the bridge, right? And I think that it is like, you know, it's valuable. It's just for me personally.
Yeah. Like it makes sense that I would be, you know, maybe an advocate or Dane would be an advocate to say, actually, like.
Monk super chatted $5. If I wanted commentary on breaking drama, I wouldn't watch Kuihman. Let's watch that month-old music video about that alien again.
Thank you for the $5, Monk. Thank you.
Arabs are kind of lit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to say all that.
Yeah. Muslims are kind of lit, you know?
Yeah.
I suppose it's like a combination of me not being nearly as passionate about that kind of stuff as you are. I think it's just like how we differ.
Yep.
I do care about a lot of that stuff, but I think that you just really, really, really care about it.
Yeah.
But I think I just value like human connection so much that I am willing to overlook like if somebody disagrees with me vehemently on like a point that I will like a hill that I'll die on.
Yeah.
Even in that situation, I feel like if this person is like connecting with me on like all other points, I'm just like, you know, we could just not talk about that.
But like hypothetically, if you had a situation where there was something that like could affect you, like you were bleeding out, like dying, and you couldn't get health care type deal, and that was a real fear that you had, and you were talking to somebody who like really wanted to vote in like the interest against that, and it is a, you know, people who have gone through that and almost died, who have been rejected. Like I know people who have sat in a parking lot bleeding out, not knowing. I think a lot of women do now. Like,
wait, look at the thumbnail for next stream, dude. That's so funny. That's so good.
Be the same for you that you could just ignore that with that person?
I mean, I would hope here in that situation, I would hope that it wasn't personal, and I don't really think it ever would be. I don't think that those kinds of things feel personal. I think it's just kind of like a principle thing for most people.
He wanted to K his friend the whole time. He just needed a push, okay? He just needed a little push, okay?
So think like, if I know someone well enough, there's a pretty good chance that I know why they believe the things that they believe, and I can kind of like think about it in a way where it's just like, I kind of get why they think that, because like I think we've talked about this before, like nature versus nurture. Like if you grow up in a household where that's like a core principle that you're raised on, like that's just gonna be your belief, and like that's just what happened. And it's hard for me to be like, you believe that because like you hate like people who are going to be in a bad situation, and I'm going to be in a bad situation, so you hate me. It's like that like feels like too personal for it to be realistic or something. I don't know how else to describe it.
It's not how my brain process with it works. It's more like you don't value my opinion enough or my experience enough to like change your thoughts on that. You actually are just protecting and taking care of yourself in the interest of like
comfort.
Comfort, and you're throwing people like me under the bus to achieve it, and like I don't really want to be around that. Like,
sure, I get that. I think that is kind of how I would feel about that in that situation, but at the same time, it's like I do have this like kind of weird curiosity, or like I don't know, maybe like I'm naive in thinking that I could be this person to do this, but like if I like the person enough, I hope that like if I don't close the door on them, that if I like were to hang out with them enough and basically let them see that like someone who
this is just fucking so bland, isn't it? I actually can't stomach any more of this. It's fucking horrible. Okay, we're done with that.